2 decades of television and the beginnings of a communications revolution have helped to generate in our society a new mood of universal expectancy, much of which centers around information, education, and the opportunity to be involved in the process. Cable television is part of an advancing communications technology which could fulfill this expectancy, but only if immediate consideration is given to the long-range public interest. Experts at this moment agree that cable could very quickly develop into a 2-way interactive system with computers in line. They view the number of television channels available as practically unlimited, with a promise of a cashless, checkless society, business conducted from home, electronic mail delivery, facsimile reproduction, social services, community forums, laser-bright wall-size TV, wired schools and universities linked directly to the wired cities. Because the necessary technology exists, the prospect is immediate, and the political, social, and cultural implications are awesome.
In the late 1940s, when television was fast spreading across America, some communities were disappointed to find themselves in a poor position to receive television signals. But by 1950, private operators began to build large community antennas, and for a fee, to distribute the stations they received to their subscribers. They used a special kind of wire to carry the complex television signals, a thin copper strand supported down the center of a flexible metal tube to form kind of an electronic pipe called coaxial cable. As used today, just one of these can carry up to 100 television channels, more information than 100,000 telephone lines. At first, the cable operator offered only the programs on the local television stations. UHF channels, difficult to receive and tune on most television sets, he converted to fit into empty slots on the VHF dial. Then, he brought in television programs from other cities, first with long-range antennas, then over leased lines from more distant stations. And he filled the still unused channels with programs originated in his own studios, weather and the stock market, local news, and community events. The airwaves are full. Dozens of private companies and government agencies are clamoring for space on the crowded broadcast spectrum. The cable operator, free to use the whole spectrum he has captured inside his cable, finds himself able to install an almost unlimited number of channels, as well as something television broadcasters never had, the ability to send signals back up the wire.
Begun as a simple service to improve television reception, cable now seems to have a potential to affect many areas of public life, in education, politics, government, and community affairs. Wiring up the schools has begun in many communities as a means to bring more programs to more students, and to bring them into the classroom at the particular time when the teacher can use them effectively. Bedridden or shut-in children can watch at home. With 2-way systems, students are able to keep in contact with their class, their teacher. Having many channels available at low cost can change the spirit in which the medium is used. Programming for small but intensely interested audiences can be practicable. People interested in toys or ceremonies or biology or history or butterflies. With cable systems on university campuses, a class, a lecture, or a special event, for example, a report on an archaeological dig, can be sent to other classes in the department, distributed throughout the campus, and from the campus out to the surrounding community. Using cable, local government may report to its constituents directly, carrying debates, council meetings in full. With feedback, the response of the viewing audience might be seen and made available to the participants. To encourage citizens to be involved in community affairs, the federal government has asked each cable system to set aside one channel to which the public has free access, to be able without cost to express their views, social, political, or personal, of any persuasion. Aided by a variety of low-cost portable television equipment, many people have tried their hand, sending out their message or their feelings to the community. Many of these public benefits promised by cable depend on the growth and the improved technical capability of cable systems. The planning and the experiments now underway by cable companies center on a broad array of new services designed to attract new customers.
For the most part, the services depend on having a two-way system. Subscribers can send messages back through the cable. They can make seat reservations or open a channel showing first-run movies or sports events or plays at an extra cost.
Well, pay TV, in effect.
Exactly, and a computer can keep track of it all, which brings up an interesting byproduct. The computer can provide a channel use profile. That's a record of how many people are watching each channel. It could also tell you what each person is watching.
Well, the extra channels can be leased to industry, say, for monitoring, or automatically reading gas and electric meters, or to banks, or for traffic control or security systems.
For example, when a sensor reacts at some location, the screen is switched to that camera, and the operator can see and talk to whoever is there, and can call the police if necessary.
The local nature of cable allows merchants to advertise very directly to their own community at a relatively low cost. In two-way systems, subscribers can use their terminals to order what they see.
Most likely, such uses are but the forerunners of much more elaborate communication services for the home. Many experts today are speculating on how the daily activities of a family living in a wired home in a wired nation will someday be affected. While asleep, the family is watched over by a battery of biological sensors, which communicates through cable to the head-end computer to maintain optimum conditions for sleep and to signal medical emergencies. With little drain on the system, the computer can send precisely timed signals to the home to operate appliances. Prepare breakfast, provide a choice of wake-up cues. A newspaper, tailored to the reader's interest, is printed out by a facsimile machine tuned to the newspaper channel. Mail, electronically scanned and sent over the cable, is waiting. Cable's vast capacity for visuals and data, with its talk-back, see-back capabilities, can spare us much of the irritation and expense we find in the growing tangle of transportation. A shopping trip at home using the interactive television screen is a vast catalog, reviewing the possibilities, narrowing the choices, comparing the products. If a selection is made, an electronic credit card triggers payment from the family bank account into the stores. Going to the office, in this case traveling entirely by cable, talking to co-workers, attending a meeting. For individual work, the computer retrieves information or documents and aids in calculation and analysis.
What seems on the surface to be a technology of isolation may in fact be a medium for reintroducing the individual to the needs and pleasures of community involvement. The difficulty in describing the possibilities of cable systems is that the description tends to obscure some of the real issues that must be faced. Considerations of privacy, who will have access to the media and who will have control, and the degree to which these networks of cable systems must be protected as a future national resource. The scenario for the real-life cable story is being written now, in boardrooms, in franchise hearings, sometimes behind closed doors. Because decisions are so often followed by elaborate implementation, they deserve careful and deliberate consideration. Wisely used, cable can reduce the amount of energy we consume. Information can take the place of horsepower. Communication the place of transportation. The pleasure of ideas and the knowledge of processes may even diminish the unending plethora of things that we now seem bound to gather about us.